Welcome back. It is time for Motivational Monday. April is Autism Awareness Month.
Therapist Jamie Stevens and Daniel Applegate with True North Counseling join us now over video chat. And they have an alligator between them. Okay, you guys.
That is not 6 feet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. Jamie, you actually work with people with intellectual disabilities. Tell us, what is autism?
So autism, there's a more clinical term. This is a developmental disability that's marked with social communication deficits. But how I like to see autism is just a difference in processing and interacting with the world around you. Not better or worse, but just different. And that's what the basis I use for my treatment is acceptance. Accepting themselves, and then rather than trying to cram them into a box of what society thinks they should be by teaching them countless social skills, just letting them be who they are and accept that. And then eventually they become able to ask and expect acceptance from others.
Very good. So there's different categories to this. You know, autism is not autism is not autism. So what are some of these different traits that can go into it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's social deficits typically. Many people on the spectrum describe what they describe like they have to decode every social situation they're in. So think about all the things that we just naturally pick up on in our day-to-day life that we probably don't even think of. And they literally have to decode all of that information, like what a half smile means, what leaning a little bit forward means. It would really be exhausting. The next is communication. So people on the spectrum tend to process information very differently, and it's a spectrum. So some struggle greatly and some hardly struggle at all, but they all tend to have a trouble with the dance that is a conversation, that back and forth and figuring out that rhythm. The next is sensory information. Many people are either very sensitive to sensory input or they're seeking out sensory input. So they may find loud sounds or bright lights really intrusive. So I try to keep sensory issues in mind in my treatment. I don't do overhead lighting. We do lamps. I have sensory equipment like weighted blanket and so forth. The next thing is rigid and repetitive behaviors. So this is, I always describe this, so think about this, they're decoding all the social input, they're decoding all of the communication that's coming in, and their sensory input is off. So I always tell people to picture it like you're a worker at Target or Walmart, and you're organizing shelves and putting everything into nice little cubes of where they go and lines. And then something comes in and throws a wrench in what their routine, such as even a nice thing like a surprise trip to the park. Well, what that does for that person, rather than being something fun and exciting, it's basically tipping over all of that shelf, and they have to start organizing and processing all that information again. So that's the reason why there are rigid and repetitive behaviors.
And now it's important to note that autism does not just affect the person who is diagnosed with it, it also affects the family. So tell us a little bit about what these families can be struggling with.
Well, there's several things. The first thing I'd like to mention is isolation. So parents of a kid that was recently diagnosed with a disability, their whole world has been turned upside down. And honestly, most of their friends have a hard time understanding really what they're going through. So of course they feel alone. This is why I regularly encourage the parents I work with to join a network such as CU Autism Network or CU Able, because it can be really comforting to just be around people who know what your day-to-day life is like and how hard it can be. The next thing is grief. I think a lot of parents that are newly diagnosed parents struggle with grief. I mean, you have to go through the stages of grief just like you would any other loss or huge change. And parents of kids on the spectrum are no different. The last is relationship conflict. I mean, think about how hard relationships are already. Then you add the extra stress of a new diagnosis. Most parents process that new diagnosis. The mom or dad may process it in very different ways or at different paces, and it can create conflict. And the new challenge, they're encountering all these new challenges that they feel probably a little incompetent to handle. And it's difficult. It causes stress. So, of course, they would have some conflict in their relationships. The last struggle that I notice that many parents have is the unwanted advice. So, I try to tell people rather than if you know somebody who has a kid on the spectrum, they don't need your advice, honestly. They just need you to listen and show care and compassion.
Very good. Well, we could certainly take some of your advice. Those are fantastic tips. Jamie, thank you so much. And while we have you both on here, Daniel, you have an announcement to make.
Well, we opened True North Counseling Center on the 1st, so we are officially open. We have a great small staff of clinicians here. Jamie is obviously our autism expert and developmental disability expert. We can be reached at 403-3352. Our website will be up and running soon, as will our Facebook page. So thank you guys for all the support over the years, and here's to our next chapter with True North.
Open for business. Thanks so much for
Indeed.
being here this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.